Maryland won the toss, electing to boot it away. And we'll get an early look at Raheem Blackshear and also Josh Hicks. That's Hicks, the senior, and Blackshear also back and ready to receive.
Yeah, I was mentioning what Jerry Kill was saying about Blackshear. I mean, he just lit up. He looked in, you know, he knows I've had good running backs when I was in Minnesota. He had some real good ones, and he was saying this guy is as good as anybody's been around.
Said he might be the best since Ray Rice was here. And it is Blackshear getting an early look at the freshman as he's dragged down at the 19-yard line for a return of 15. If you are looking for the Northwestern-Nebraska game also going on right now, go to btn.com/gamefinder to see where you can find that game in your area. So Rutgers will be led out by Gio Roshinio, the redshirt junior. This will be his 4th start, 2-1 since taking over as a starting quarterback.
Yeah, ball control's ball protection, I say, is a big thing for them. And this guy hasn't thrown an interception. I don't want to jinx him. For 101 passes.
Yeah, that dates all the way back to last season. It was Kyle Bolin, the Louisville transfer, who was the starter to begin the year. But it's been the Roshinio show as of late. Gus Edwards gets the first carry, and a strong carry it is for Edwards. First down. Speaking of Gus Edwards, he's on the screen for our Auto Owners Insurance Impact players.
Yeah, you see that guy right there. You got to start off a transfer from Miami. They're going to try to win this game on the ground. We talked about Raheem Blackshear, who's really good. And then you talk about Darnell Savage Jr. for the Terrapins. Man, he just had a huge game a week ago.
He was spectacular against Indiana on the defensive side of the ball and in special teams. They'll go to Edwards again, this time stretching it around the outside. Well, what a great start for Gus Edwards, a native of Staten Island. There's a flag in as well. It's an 18-yard carry as of now if it stands. John O'Neill, our referee.
Holding. Offense number 6. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Repeat, first down.
So that's Muhammad Jabi, wide receiver.
You know, you think about that, and you watch it right here. You know, that's an all-day block out there, but he's got him gripped up, and Jerry Kill, the offensive coordinator, is a big part of them being successful. They can't have minus-yard plays or penalties. They're not good enough to overcome those situations.
It's a spot foul, so 1st and 14 on the wide receiver hold. Edwards again. He'll get it back to make it 2nd and 8. A 6-yard gain that time, tackle by Mbitanyi.
You know, this is a typical Jerry Kill type offense. He's been around. You know, he was at Southern Illinois, Northern Illinois. Great success running the football at Minnesota. A little bit different because of personnel. You won't see him utilizing as much 12 personnel, 1 back, 2 tight ends, because he doesn't have that type of personnel here at Rutgers right now.
Once more with Edwards. So the hold does not wind up hurting Rutgers. 2 carries with Edwards. He's able to pick up the first, 10 yards that time before he's stopped by Brooks.
Yeah, just watch this. Look at that line blocking. Man, they're coming off the ball. They knocked that 3 technique right off the ball. You don't think that doesn't fire you up getting a first down, 2 runs after a penalty? You're wrong.
So all 4 plays offensively for Rutgers have gone to that man. 32 yards on the ground for the Miami grad transfer. 3 years at Miami, was right under 1,000 yards. And this season, he's approaching 550 for Rutgers. 3 yards that time, stopped by Savon Walker.
You know, talking to Andy Boo, the defensive coordinator of Maryland, I asked him, you know, what's your goal for this game? Getting off the field on 3rd down that we talked about, him getting up almost 50% conversion rate there. He goes, no, we got to stop the run. That's always our goal. So far, not so good.
Head coach Chris Ash, you just saw the stat, but last year struggled in the Big Ten, did not win any games. 2-3 in the league. What a boost it would be for them if they could get to 3-3 as he continues to build this thing here in Piscataway. Roshinio yet to throw the football. It's all about Edwards. And a nice tackle that time by Chandler Burkett, who kind of plays that linebacker butt spot, which is a defensive end linebacker hybrid.
Yeah, not only has Rutgers been running the football, they've just been running the inside zone. Inside right, inside left, even taking the ball outside. And, you know, when you do that, you're telling the guys up front, and for Rutgers, a young group, they only have one senior in that offensive line. So far, they're doing a really good job.
DJ Durkin, you saw him a moment ago, was defensive coordinator, linebacker coach at Michigan under Coach Harbaugh before now getting the reins of his own program. We're going to get flags here. Roshinio pumping, has nowhere to go. He tucks and runs and is dropped just across the 45.
Well, you got to think it's the defensive man that moved first, because if it was the offensive man, they would have blown it dead.
They will convene. And here's John O'Neill. That's exactly the case. Never doubt Glenn Mason. That's the lesson.
Well, you'd be making a big
Offside
mistake
defense.
there. Right?
5-yard
I'll tell you that.
Repeat, third down.
But it is against DJ Durkin's crew. So that essentially was a free play for Rutgers.
Now, you know, a lot of people don't think this is a big play. They always think big plays, big pass, big run. When you come down to third and short, 3rd and 1, if you convert, it's a big play. If you stop them on defense, that's a big play. So we got a big play in front of us right now.
Will they go to Robert Martin? Yes, first carry for Martin, and that was pretty easy. Not much resistance as he takes it to the 46.
Yeah, they went to the read option play, and, you know, the defensive end cannot be right there. If he crosses the face, and here came a secondary blitz. If the guy doesn't come fast enough, you hand off. He comes too fast, quarterback pulls it, goes outside.
Maryland has not been able to get off the field this year on 3rd downs. 49% for the opposition is the conversion rate. And another conversion against them there. Fresh set of downs. Roshinio looking for the first pass attempt. But he's going to have to tuck and run. Everybody was covered. Pretty nice job, though, by Giovanni Roshinio. Gets a few out of it before he's brought down by Antoine Brooks.
Yeah, if I was going to be critical, he did the right thing, but he should have taken off quicker early. You can see right there, you got to go. The old thing about read, release, run. Well, he made the read. He didn't release it. He read again, and then he ran. He's lucky he got positive yards there.
And Jerry Kill said he has to be ready to do 1, 2, 3, drop on the, and then throw it or take off. One or the other.
He did 4 before he took off there.
Blackshear in the backfield. And he'll get the give. First down. So you said Jerry Kill mentioned he wants to run the football. They are running the football.
Yeah, and I don't mean to beat a dead horse. You can call the backs' names out all you want, but when you're running the ball right at the gut of the defense, you go from tackle to guard to center to guard to tackle. Those guys are doing a whale of a job.
So Rutgers wants to run the football. Andy Boo and that Maryland defense, they said they want to stop the run and get off the field on 3rd down. So far, they're not doing their job defensively. Easier said than done. Trying to get the edge, but the edge isn't there.
Well, you know, it becomes a chess game. I kept saying all they do is run in the middle, and all of a sudden they go outside, they don't get anything. You say, well, why would you call it outside? Well, you know, Jerry's thinking, well, you know, that Maryland Andy Buey's got to think about can't stop the run. I'm going to sink everybody inside, so what I call an outside play, and guess wrong.
And number 1, Jermaine Carter was there for Maryland. He'll sit this play out. But for Carter, that was his 293rd career tackle. Been around the block as a senior from Fort Washington, Maryland. On 2nd down, short pass incomplete. Intended for his tight end, Jerome Washington, but it fell to the ground. Coverage by Rayvon Davis.
So now you got an interesting situation. You don't want to be here if you're Jerry Kill. You'll see the pass right there, and no, it hits the ground. Good call by the official, but Jerry Kill does not want to be in this situation. That's not their game plan. And if you're Maryland, as you mentioned, giving up almost 49%, I mean, you have got to force them out off the field right now.
It's a drive that's already lasted over 6 minutes. Roshinio running for his life. Incomplete. Even if he had caught it a couple yards short of the stick, Hunter Hayek tried to stay in bounds. But he
he avoids the rush, and you know, he puts it on the sideline, but it definitely outside. And Andy Boo came with a blitz there. They couldn't pick it up, and Chino did a pretty good job avoiding it and at least getting the throw away and no negative yards.
Now this is interesting. Rutgers with a long field goal attempt. They've only made 4 field goals this year, fewest in the conference. And this is going to be a 53-yarder.
I'd be worried about the fake. That's what I'd be worried about if I was Maryland.
Andrew Hart, his career long is 39, and that one had the leg, but well off to the right. Solution Stadium. As the drive starts for Maryland, first carry of the game goes to DJ Moore. That's the guy that they want to get the football to. He's a wide receiver, but they will hand it to him on the sweeps. 51 receptions this year for number 1 DJ Moore, the junior out of Philadelphia. And coach, he is explosive.
Oh man, he's something special. And you know, Walt Bell, the offensive coordinator, said they had him in camp down in North Carolina. They didn't offer him. They didn't think he could run. Big mistake. Huge.
He can run. He can fly. He can do it all. He's had a catch in 29 straight games as Moore.
And he also said he's never been around a better kid on the field, off the field, academically, socially than him.
Bortenschlager turns and hands it off to Ty Johnson. Johnson dragging his way out for a first down across the 45. So Max Bortenschlager, the sophomore from Fishers, Indiana, just outside of Indianapolis. And he is the 3rd-string quarterback as far as the start of the season is concerned, but he's been the guy, and he's been a good game manager for them.
Yeah, you know how they got him. He was committed to Buffalo, and they lost a quarterback right at the 11th hour the night before, and they called him up, and he came, and man, are they glad he's here.
It was Dwayne Haskins they lost, so went to Ohio State. That opened the door for Bortenschlager. A little running room there for Lorenzo Harrison as we take a peek at our Auto Owners Insurance Impact players.
Well, there's Ty Johnson. You talk about, you know, running the football. He's something special. We just got done talking about DJ Moore. And then, you know, you think about what they have to do on defense. Kamoko Toure, I've watched this guy since he's been in the league. He might be the best athlete defensively on this field tonight.
And there's no doubt he's the best pass rusher for the Scarlet Knights. Keep your eye on number 58 in black. The right side taking it across midfield to the 47. Sebastian Joseph with a tackle on Harrison.
You know, the 2 words that jump out me so far in this game for both teams is they're both playing extremely hard and running the football. They've got really good quickness.
A ground game has the first quarter moving expeditiously. That first drive was 6 minutes and 15 seconds, and now first 4 plays all runs for Maryland. But the flag will slow us up.
Offense number 48. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
It's on the tight end, Derek Hayward, mainly a blocking tight end.
Man, you hate to have those type of penalties, but when you've got it in 3rd down and, you know, close to being just 3rd down and short, and you get one of those unforced errors, man, really hurts you.
Backs him up to 3rd and 7. Bortenschlager has struggled in the completion percentage department, just a shade over 50. He'll test that right arm here. Incomplete. I don't know if that was intended for Tavon Jacobs or DJ Moore. It was sort of in the middle of them. Damon Hayes dove for the interception, but incomplete.
Yeah, I'm not sure where, but obviously incomplete. You know, the comparisons between these 2 teams, we talk about the woes that Maryland have getting off the field on 3rd down. You think for Rutgers, Jay Neiman and his bunch, the defensive coordinator, opponents 30%. Big difference.
Huge difference. And DJ Moore at the end of that play, like he might have been pulling down Damon Hayes. There was a defensive back in coverage. Wade Lees is the punter, the 29-year-old punter from down under. Fair catch, Hayek. Oh, he bobbled it! But he was able to dive on it. A peek at the Discover Card Big Ten standings. Ohio State, Wisconsin, the lone unbeatens in conference play. Now, Penn State, Michigan State, huge game today. That's still in a weather delay, though.
Yeah, there's a lot going over there in the East and the West. Wisconsin, they struggled there for a while against Indiana, and then just kept rolling. They're just running away with that West Division.
Still undefeated on the season in its entirety for the Badgers. Second drive for Rutgers. Roshinio hands to Robert Martin. Across the 25.
Yeah, you know how Jerry Kill is. All of a sudden he's going to say, heck with everything else. Let's just keep, running the middle. And, I got to say it again. Cole, Miller, Maiotti, Applefield, and Seymour, tackle to tackle. Guys are doing a whale of a job.
Michael Maietti at center. That's a guy who stepped in for an injured Jonah Jackson beginning of the year. They weren't sure how that was going to pan out. Maietti just a redshirt freshman, but he and the rest of the O-line, they've been up to the task. Robert Martin is swarmed in the backfield that time. Coming up, Imbi Tanyi, big number 50 from Houston, Texas, 300-pounder.
Yeah, old 50 said, I had enough of that. You see, just I started talking and bragging about that offensive line. That right guard, you whiffed. You threw a no-hitter. You can't do that.
Tanyi's been coming on the last couple of weeks. Only his 9th tackle of the season. That one was impressive. His 2nd tackle for a loss this year.
That's what Jerry Kill wanted to avoid, those minus-yard plays.
Lost 3. Roshinio rolling. Tuck it, run, out of bounds. Several times we've seen him look to throw the football, not have any options, and just take off.
Yeah, well, he's not forcing it in there, and that's probably one of the reasons why he hasn't thrown an interception in a long time. He came out there, but they had the gimme throw. He's going to put it on the money with the receiver coming in front of him. If it's covered, I'm going to take off and run.
Makes it 3rd and manageable with a 7-yard pickup. Roshinio, the redshirt junior from Macomb Township, Michigan. Pats the ball, fires high. Incomplete. Good coverage by Quantrez Knight to safety. 4th down. Roshinio 0 for 3 so far throwing the football.
Maryland's gone to some line twist, trying to jump things up there in the middle. Even on that 3rd down, they did it normally pretty effective against inside zone runs, which they've been hurt on.
Rutgers has a very good punter in Ryan Anderson. 44.3 yards per punt is best in the conference. This one angling toward the sideline. They want to keep it away from DJ Moore, but maybe not that much. Starting this drive from their 40, the Terps, that 4-4 record. Jake Funk, the sophomore who they say is a jack of all trades with a 3-yard gain, tackled by Deontay Roberts.
Yeah, you look at Jake, he had 2 touchdowns in the 4th quarter last week, and Walt Bell says you got to find a guy rolling. He was a wing T fullback in high school. How's that? And
he has 5 total touchdowns. The 2 last week you mentioned, actually more touchdowns than Johnson or Harrison. Nice completion there to Tavon Jacobs. That's the 2nd favorite target of Bortenschlager behind DJ Moore. And for Moore, we go down to Elise Menaker.
Interesting that Bortenschlager just connected with Tavon Jacobs, because that's exactly who he went straight to on the sidelines after that kind of in-between throw. He was having a conversation with him and Caleb Henderson, the backup quarterback. It looks like their conversation paid off.
Well, and Elise Jacobs has touchdown receptions in 3 straight games, and he goes right back to him there. That one a little high.
Jacobs is incomplete.
Maryland's gone to 10 personnel, which means 1 running back, 0 tight ends, 4 wide receivers. He has good protection, and he has a wide open receiver, just throws it too high.
Moore and Jacobs, those are the guys, though, out wide. 2nd and 10 with 3:18 left in the 1st. Faking the handoff and back to Jacobs. Look at that speed. Tavon Jacobs cuts it in. All the way play inside the 5.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Juwan Harris, number 3, made a critical mistake. Watch it right here. You got to make that play. He underestimated the speed of the receiver, and that became a big play. And, you know, Harris has just moved to defensive back, you know, this year. And awful good baseball player, but he didn't judge Jacobs very well there.
Yeah, his 4th game since moving from safety for Harris. Also have an injured player down at the end of that 43-yard reception by Jacobs. Rutgers has Elam Lamore popping up to his feet right now. He's a local kid from Piscataway High School, a couple miles from campus.
You'll see him come flying in there, and
he hit Juwan Harris, who we were discussing a moment ago. Hopefully Lamore is okay. Maryland set up nicely, knocking on the door, 1st and goal.
Unbalanced formation.
Jake Funk churning those legs. He's not going to make it. He'll get halfway home to the 2.
Well, you know one thing about Jake Funk, when you give him the football, he may make a little quick cut, but he is going to go to the goal line.
He's getting a reputation in College Park for being the touchdown vulture.
5'11", 202 pounds. Power packed.
And they love him as a pass protector, too.
Gaithersburg, Maryland, a lot of good football players come out of there.
Funk once more. No signal yet.
I thought he was in.
It appears he's short.
And I tell you one thing, watch, you give him the ball, he lowers his head, and he's getting his pads low, and ooh, they got him around the neck. You got to be awful close.
You go to the same thing?
I'm giving it to my man Funk. Yeah. Yes, sir.
They might take another look.
Maybe they heard me talking up here. They're unbalanced.
That ruling is under further review.
This is one of those that is tough to overturn with all the bodies that get hit into that pile. So John O'Neill will talk to the replay official Tom Kissinger up in the booth. And this is what they'll be looking at.
Well, you can't fault him for effort. You can see him right there. Yeah, you can see right there with the defensive man's got his arm. He got a chokehold on him right there. And man, I think it's one of those they would have called a touchdown. It would have stood, and I'm not sure they'll overturn it right here.
But you're right, Trevor Morris had his left arm wrapped around Funk, and I think that's what prevented him from getting the final push into the end zone.
So now what you're doing on the sideline, you're calling your play and thinking it's short.
Good time to welcome in Dick Honig. Anything here that they could see to overturn this?
No, I think Glenn made a good comment. I think if they had called this a touchdown, it would have been hard to reverse. Either way, I think it's got to stand.
Let's see if John O'Neill agrees.
Review, the ruling on the field stands as called. 3rd down.
And of course, on a review, if you see a penalty, you can't call it. So 3rd and goal now, but you're saying go back to Funk.
Well, they're coming right back with unbalanced line, I think. No, they went back to a normal line right here. They changed during the review.
Flags come in.
Offense number 34. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Oh, that's on Jake Funk. Big penalty.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You know what that tells you right there? They were going to give the ball to him.
He was trying to get a jump start.
There's no doubt. He's thinking, they're calling my number. Man, you can't do that.
And DJ Durkin shaking his head. They had 12 penalties last week against Indiana. So now Funk is out of the game, and they have Ty Johnson in the backfield. Maryland already 3 pre-snap penalties.
And throw the ball.
And they are. Bortenschlager to Johnson and into the end zone. The penalty does not hurt the Terps, and they strike first. Johnson has 4 rushing touchdowns on the season. This is his first receiving score.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, the most relieved guy there on the sideline is Jake Funk. You know, get the touchdown, they kind of forget about that mistake you made.
6-yard touchdown for number 6, Ty Johnson. And Bortenschlager now 10 touchdown passes on the season.
You know who's really sick watching Maryland play? Buffalo. Because old Max is pretty good.
Yeah, they wish they could have had the junior from out of Cumberland, Maryland, Ty Johnson, with a 6-yard touchdown reception. First score of the game, Maryland on top of Rutgers 7-0. Johnson, such a great playmaker for Maryland. On the other sideline, Rutgers without their best playmaker, Janarian Grant, with that ankle injury. That's a big blow for them.
It sure is. He does so much for them, and you know, running back as a wildcat, he's not going to throw the football probably, but a wide receiver, kick returner, dynamic.
Speaking of a dynamic kick returner, Blackshear trying to find a hole and got leveled at the end. Dropped shy of the 25. 11-yard return. Here's our SoFi in the huddle, brought to you by SoFi, the preferred financial partner of the Big Ten Conference.
Yeah, with Grant out today, let's watch. This is his Wildcat against Michigan last week, and you know, when you can count everybody when you have the Wildcat, that puts it to the safety to make the play. Easier said than done. The safety for Michigan thinks it's going outside. He makes a cut backside, and let me tell you something, when that fellow is leaving you like that, it's all over. They won't have that element today.
And without that element, that Maryland defense and defensive coordinator Andy Boo, something they don't have to account for. Probably makes him sweat a little bit less. He is Mr. All-Purposes, Grant. What a career he's had. And once again, we're going to see Roshinio get outside of the pocket, have that option to pass it, not pass it, and run out of bounds.
One last thing on Janarian Grant. When I asked DJ Durkin, the head football coach of Maryland, about him, he said, I told our guys on defense, special teams, we have to know where he is on every play. Well, let me tell you, he's on the sideline every play. It's a lot easier for you.
It's just so frustrating for Rutgers, though. It's that old ankle injury that he fractured last year, week 4 against Iowa, and it just keeps bothering him and bothering him.
Maryland showing blitz and then checking back out of it.
Roshinio will hand it off to Gus Edwards. He has been good so far for Rutgers, and Edwards, such good patience in the backfield.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that go with it, but you saw right there, and you hit the key word there, is patience. Let it develop. Sometimes you got to let the block make it and then make the cut off of that. And anytime you're running the ball like that, inside or outside zone, and the safety's making the play, good things are going to happen to you.
Edwards, 43 yards already. He only had 34 last week against Michigan on 12 carries. Did have a touchdown run in that loss. They did get the snap off with 1 second left in the quarter. And it's a good thing they did, because Jerome Washington is wide open in Maryland territory. His team best 22nd reception of the season. It goes for 35 yards.
Yeah, you can see it. They came off a play action pass. It froze everybody, and understandably the way they're running the ball, and he put the ball right on the money. If you're real good to me, maybe I'll share you my recruiting story with Rutgers sometime.
Oh boy, I'll look forward to hearing that. Here's a handoff to Gus Edwards. Down to the 25. So the first quarter ended with the great pass to Jerome Washington. The second quarter starts with a run.
I tell you, Jerry Kill, the offensive coordinator for Rutgers, got to be pleased so far. Mixing it up, run and pass, especially the running game.
They called for an official's timeout for an apparent injury.
I think it was Burkett, and he got off the field.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right, Chandler Burkett. Big number 92 for Maryland is being tended to on the sideline as DJ Durkin looks on before a 2nd and 6. Blackshear between the tackles, churning, backing his way towards the marker. Did that second effort get him a first down? It's close.
Little counter action in the backfield with the motion. Everybody calls that eye candy, but you know, I'm going to say it again. I can see why Jerry Kill really likes that guy. He's quick. 5'9", 185-pound freshman from Pennsylvania.
They do spot him a half yard short. Could be 4-down territory right here, though. Well, it doesn't matter because Gus Edwards says, I'll get plenty extra to pick up the first. You said Jerry Kill has to be liking the action. There he is on your screen.
Yeah, there he is. There's old Jerry right there sitting in there. He's looking over his play sheet. Jerry, it can't be too much on there. Just inside zone right, inside zone left. That's what's working.
It's kind of the gray-haired consultant for Chris Ash, the 43-year-old head coach. Edwards again, looking left side. Powerful running for the 235-pound back from Staten Island.
You know, I can tell you about a running game and running backs like this offensive line. You know, it takes an effect. If you're running like this in the first quarter, second quarter, you keep going, those become really big plays into the third quarter and fourth quarter because those guys in the white shirt defenders, you get tired of tackling guys like that.
He is a load to bring down, is Gus Edwards. His best game this year was 94 yards against Purdue. He's on pace to blow past that. Oh, the keeper! And scoring on the keeper, Giovanni Roshinio. Let's go! Let's go! And they fire the cannon on a 9-yard touchdown run by the quarterback, Giovanni Roshinio.
Yeah, when you're calling plays like Jerry Kill is inside, outside zone, you're watching point of attack block, and I guarantee he's got someone watching what the defensive end is doing. As soon as he's closing too much, says, hey, Jerry, call the keeper, walks in.
Everyone was crashing on Edwards. Up and in for Andrew Hart.
With the run, and that's what you're doing. Look at the first downs.
Time of possession has been an issue for Maryland all season. Ty Johnson. I don't think he's going to set the edge. No. Down at the 15. Take a peek at the playoff picture. This is what it looks like right now. Everyone was a little surprised Georgia ahead of Alabama, but look at 6 and 7 down there. Ohio State and Penn State knocking on the door.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised. I thought Georgia should be number one. I was surprised that Clemson getting in there in the top 4. And let's not forget, they lost to Syracuse. And I'm not trying to beat up on Syracuse, but, you know, come on there. I don't know, and I don't think that, you know, Ohio State got as much respect as they should have got for knocking off number 2 Penn State.
But something tells me a lot of shuffling still to be done in the top 4 down the stretch. Lorenzo Harrison gets his number called. Short carry. Rutgers playing with a new sense of energy. A tackle by Sebastian Joseph, the redshirt senior. Next Saturday, pregame show for Big Ten fans comes to you from Madison. BTN Tailgate, presented by TIAA. Next Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern, right here on BTN.
You think you'll see Jerry DiNardo doing the jump around there in Madison?
I don't know if he's not too cold.
Yeah.
Gonna have his space heaters right under his feet, I'm sure. On 2nd and 8. Hortenschlager flush from the pocket. Watch out! Incomplete, almost intercepted at the end of that. Coming in and diving at the last second was Ross Douglas. But Ellen Lamore was the one who surprised Hortenschlager.
Yeah, the posse's coming there, Max. You can't hold the ball that long. Sometimes you just got to throw it away out of bounds, come back and play another down. You're very, very fortunate right there.
Good diving attempt by Douglas. Now 3rd down and 8. But first, we're going to get a timeout taken by the home team. The Scarlet Knights want to talk it over before the 3rd down.
The ball was fumbled, and it was not an incomplete pass. However, there was no clear and immediate recovery in the ensuing action, so the ball will be placed at the 21-yard line, 3rd down.
So you caught the tail end of the explanation from John O'Neill. Now, what was missed in that last play that we're going back to is Bortenschlager actually fumbled that ball, but then nobody recovered the football because no one realized it was a fumble.
Yeah, they just let it lay there, and you can see they went after it like it was an interception and didn't think he got it. I don't think that Rutgers realized it was a fumble and just let the ball lay on the ground.
So then, Dick, what is the end result there?
Yes, it's simply an incompleted pass as it was called on the field. The replay cannot reverse that simply because there was not a clear recovery.
But then there's a 4-yard gain on the end of it. That's interesting. So 3rd down and 4. With Ty Johnson in the backfield. Here comes the pressure. Swung around, and down goes Max Bortenschlager. Sebastian Joseph got in there to help reel him to the turf.
Yeah, they came with the pressure, and he doesn't have a chance here. He doesn't even have a chance to throw the ball away, and a whole host of the Rutgers defenders make the play.
Bortenschlager got hit hard, twisted around.
Tough game.
As Kevin Wilkins also came in, sort of twisted him like a pretzel. Luckily, he got up and appears to be okay. Wade Lees boots it. Hunter Hayek, who bobbled one earlier on a punt, catches that cleanly right around midfield. 34-yard punt and the fair catch. Tuesday on an all-new journey. See how 2 sophomores are leading the charge for the Spartans And find out why family is so important to Northwestern's Justin Jackson. Don't miss an all-new episode of The Journey, Big Ten Football 2017. It's Tuesday, 9 Eastern, right here on BTN.
Now, here's what I always worried about playing. You know, all the momentum's with Rutgers. They make a big play there, and now they get the ball on the short side of the 50. Watch out for the home run.
That fumble, though, earlier where there was a confusion, I want to clear up that was a 4-yard gain because that's where the football stopped on the ground and no one recovered it. So by default, that's where they stopped the play. But in the end, it resulted in Rutgers getting the football. And now for a studio update, let's go to Mike Hall in Chicago.
Second and 6.
Thank you, Mike. Second and 6. Maryland had the 7-0 lead. Rutgers answered with a score. Now they've got the football again in plus territory. And the ground game, which has been working so well for the Scarlet Knights, gets them to third and short range, tackled by Melvin Kane and also Isaiah Davis.
And once again, here comes the woes for the Maryland defense getting off the field, getting a stop on third down.
Indiana, like everybody else last week, was right around 50% converting against them. If you look at the numbers from that game last week for Maryland, you would have no idea how they won the game, but they did. 42-39. Up the middle, and once again, they cannot get off the field. Savon Walker had the tackle, but not before a gain of 3 and a first down.
Well, you know, if you just play a conventional defense and have enough hats to block the guys on defense and backs hit it in there like that, as long as the linemen come off on the count, it's tough to stop those guys for less than 2 or 3 yards.
This Maryland defense did have a huge blow game 1 in that win over Texas when they lost Jesse Annabonum, one of their big leaders. The front 7 has been so criticized this year. Long pass. And it's batted down. Nice job by Darnell Savage, who we mentioned had that huge game last week against Indiana. He was back in coverage.
Yeah, he was all over that. Really, when you look at it, Roshinio's lucky the ball wasn't picked off because that's an underthrown. Good no call by the officials. Both were hand fighting there a little bit.
He was tangling with DeCoven Bailey, the sophomore, who only has 7 receptions on the season. Roshinio just 1 of 5 throwing the ball, so they go back to the bread and butter and get the ball to the 35. Gus Edwards is already at 11 attempts running, and he's also over 60 yards so far in this first half.
Now you're in a passing situation, and they're going to pass it, but it's 3rd and long.
Is this 4-down territory?
You got to get some yards right here.
Pressure up the middle.
Yes, they do.
And fighting for the ball, Washington. He and Knight both had hands on it, or rather that's Nakia Griffin-Stewart, the other tight end, ripping it away from Knight for a gain of 3. So now is it 4-down territory. You got 3 yards.
Well, it all comes down to, you know, it is unless you have really good confidence in your field goal kicker. And they're going to go with the field goal.
Hart missed earlier from 53 yards away. Gives Rutgers their first lead at 10-7. Javon Lee, kid they say has a bright future, gets tripped up there though, short of the 20. Let's check in with Elise.
Brandon, you had mentioned that Bornschlager got hit hard there. Well, right when he came off on the sideline, a trainer came over to check him out. He was feeling his right quad and stretching it out the entire time. At one point, even Henderson was warming up his leg. So we'll see what he does out there now. But boy, you do not want to see something like that after Maryland has already lost a couple of quarterbacks to injury this season.
And they've lost Pigram, Hill, their top 2 guys. Behind Bortenschlager is Caleb Henderson.
Well, let me tell you, for the last couple years, not just this year, I don't know of a program that's lost more quarterbacks than Maryland.
To that point, their star wide receiver DJ Moore in his career, he's a junior, he's caught passes from 7 different quarterbacks. Good to see Bortenschlager stay in the game, but he throws that incomplete to Jaquil Vay, short of his target.
Yeah, Vay was wide open. Bortenschlager did a good job of scrambling out there and getting his eyes back to the perimeter. And
one thing Durkin, though, told us about Bortenschlager, he said, natural leader. Line great qualities.
Unflappable.
High praise from his head coach. They'll give it to Ty Johnson, coming around and getting 4 yards on the carry.
Nice tackle by Hester. You know, you're a safety, you come in there to clean the play up and you knock a guy like Johnson backwards. That's saying something. These guys a week ago, they were only 3 of 8 on 3rd down, so they've struggled on both sides of the ball when you talk about 3rd down conversions.
And here it's 3rd and 6 with just inside of 7 minutes left in the opening half. And we're going to get a timeout by the offense.
Charge timeout, Maryland. They're first.
And the crowd's in the game. I mean, this setting's loud. How the stadium sits down on the ground, you walk in and walk down like a bowl or a pit.
Yeah, it's been nice and a beautiful weather day here in Piscataway. Of Maryland, 27-9 in that bout. Craveable Moments, sponsored by Dr. Pepper. Of course, this was a game, both the wrestling match and the game that was supposed to be played at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, but as Elise told you, deep in that ALCS, they had to make the decision to move it back to campus. Tavon Jacobs swung around at the 40. First down, 16-yard gain.
Really good job by Maryland. Here comes the blitz by Rutgers. They pick it up, and he had a clear throwing lane, and he put the ball right on the money. Much needed conversion.
So he's been the go-to guy. DJ Moore with just 1 catch for 4 yards, but Jacobs 3 for 69. Jacobs came in with 25 catches as Bortenschlager goes down to the ground under pressure. And Julius Turner that time. First sack of the season.
Yeah, you see he's looking, and he just didn't get the protection because it looked like he was going to start to run, but no chance.
Julius Turner, the redshirt freshman, dropping him for a loss of 3. And Turner, a guy who at 6'1" was told by the SEC schools, because he's from Mississippi, that he was too short to play in that conference. So he said, okay, I'll go have an impact at Rutgers in the Big Ten. Flipping it outside. Guess who? Jacobs. Pushed out by Trevor Morris, 3rd down. Interesting that it's Jacobs. Moore is being covered, so they're turning to number 12 instead of number 1.
Well, you got to throw it to the guy that's open. I mean, it's as simple as that. And, you know, I think any quarterback makes a mistake, even if he has a guy, you know, like DJ Moore, that he thinks he has to force it in there. Big mistake. Might be the primary receiver, but if he's covered, you go to number 2 or number 3.
See who he turns to here as Johnson evacuates the backfield for 5 wide. Throws it off his heel as he's hit, and it's intercepted. Kai Hester, he's gonna go. Touchdown, Scarlet Knights. 52-yard pick six.
Yeah, I think this is really unfortunate. I don't think he was trying to complete it. Watch it. I think he was just trying to throw it away out of bounds. He just couldn't get enough arm on it. And, you know, you got to throw that all the way up to row 18. That's what you've got to tell that quarterback, and he just didn't have the arm to do it.
Credit big number 99, Kevin Wilkins, with putting the hit on Bortenschlager that forced the interception. And Kai Hester, who had a pick six earlier this year against Nebraska, gets a pick six here to make it. Kai Hester has both defensive touchdowns this year for Rutgers, both pick sixes, one against Nebraska, and the one a moment ago of 52 yards.
Yeah, we were at Nebraska. Good luck for him, I guess, huh? He'll want to see us more often.
And Chris Ash told us he actually could have had a pick six against Michigan last week. Nearly intercepted one inside the 20, and he said if he had intercepted that, he could have taken it 80-plus yards the other way. But he dropped it. Javon Leak with a return, but Rutgers special teams good again. Game recap. Maryland struck first.
Yeah, he saved old Funk for moving in the backfield, and then we come back and now Rutgers keeps it with the cornerback, and then the one we just saw right here, this was gift wrapped to Hester for a pick six and a touchdown.
And 17 points in 7 minutes and 22 seconds. And a flag on the return with the clock stopped.
Offside, kicking team, number 33. 5 yards to be added to the end of the run. First down.
Yeah, the flag was all the way back around the 35-yard line, so offsides. And they tack 5 on to the end.
It's like they're going to have him re-kick it.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're going to do.
Which is an option, and how high he kicked that and where he returned it from, I don't blame him.
DJ Durkin, 39-year-old head coach, trying to fire the troops up. Both coaches in their second year, both young. I mentioned Ash 43, Durkin 39. Maryland's gone cold as of late as we get one more peek at this offside.
Well, it's got to be up top, I think, and you see it right. Oh, yeah, right at the right end. Guy at the end line, just a step over. That's all you have to do is be a step over it. Now you got to think that Maryland's going to receive the ball in good position to get a return.
So they will make the true freshman, Justin Davidovitz, kick it again. A little more pop behind this one, but still returnable for Ty Johnson. Stepping outside and getting plowed just across the 20.
If you don't think these guys aren't fired up to play this game, listen to this hit.
Saheem Simmons coming up, a no-doubter tackle, then celebrating with his teammates.
I always thought one of the great indicators of if your team's ready to play is how physical they play on special teams, and man, these guys are getting after it.
Does Maryland have a response? Because all the momentum right now for the Scarlet Knights. What can Bortenschlager do after the pick six on his last pass? He'll turn around and hand it off to Harrison, but not much there. Maybe a yard. Trevor Morris, he leads the team in tackles, and he got another one.
You know, we talked about it. It's in November. The season gets long, but, you know, the idea of being able to get to a bowl game, or, you know, and Rutgers even more. I mean, they come away with the victory, as we mentioned in the open. 3 out of 4 Big Ten victories. I mean, that's impressive.
Especially after all the struggles they've had. 0 wins in the conference last year. Faking the give, a throw. Jacobs has it. Maybe that'll be a pick-me-up for the Terps out to the 40. That's a 15-yard gain.
Well, there's no doubt about it. You know, so far, Jacobs has been the player of the game on offense. And I mean, that's a nice throw, nice catch, and he's going to do something. You better be in a position to tackle that guy, or he's going to take it the distance.
Harrison, first down carry to the Rutgers side of the field. So you had the 15-yard pass, now a 14-yard run.
Yeah, we talked to Jay Neiman, the defensive coordinator for Rutgers, and he talked about Johnson and Harrison, and he said they run like they're vicious, you know, very physical.
Running angry. going a little quicker on the side of Maryland. That one is out to Jarvis Davenport. First catch for the junior in this game, 7th on the season. Three straight plays of 14 or more yards. They'd love to get Davenport and DJ Turner in the mix more, along with Jacobs and Moore. Received such a heavy load of the carries, or receptions, I should say. That time back to the ground to Ty Johnson for 4. Stay tuned. Buffalo Wild Wings halftime report. Rick Pizzo, Howard Griffith, and Chuck Long. They'll be along from our Chicago studio to get you caught up on all the games and news in the Big Ten today.
Maryland going more up-tempo, and it's working for them.
Knocking on the door of the red zone. What do you like on 2nd and 6?
I'd go back to, they had to stop Jacobs on the crossing pattern.
He slot left. Instead, they will go to the ground on the right side, and Harrison able to sneak up inside and pick up the first down.
You know, so much of it, you see it all the time in modern day football. You line up there, and then the quarterback will look to the sideline, or other players will look to it. Now the guy upstairs, as he looks over that defense, is having a guy on the sideline signaling what they think is the optimum play to run.
Do you worry at all about scoring too quickly if you're Maryland?
No, I want to score. I'm not going to worry about that.
Bortenschlager, pocket starts to collapse. He takes it to the outside and gets dropped at the 15. Trevor Morris, KJ Gray were there. KJ Gray, a guy that they feel really has made big strides this year. He's a local product from Newark.
I've always thought that word about scoring too quickly, that sounds good, you know. It's not in till it's in, and you're sure not going to worry about it in the first half.
Hey, I thought I knew the answer, but I wanted to ask. As the clock approaches 2 minutes, each team with a pair of timeouts. Between the tackles, Johnson, then he goes outside the numbers. Dragged down by Ellen Lamore. So that's going to bring up 3rd and 7. Scarlet Knights with just one timeout left as they stop the clock with 1:24 remaining in the second quarter.
Yeah, and I think that was a good move by Chris Ash there. And, you know, you look at it right here. He knows that they hold him here on 3rd down, that BJ Durkin's probably going to kick the field goal. So this becomes a big play.
Last 3rd down play, Bortenschlager was picked by Hester, and he returned it for a touchdown. Flag before the snap.
Ball start. Offense number 12. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
So they've had a false start by their tight end Hayward, and now it's on Tavon Jacobs.
Yeah, false starts drive you crazy. It really drives you crazy. Really drives you crazy when it's a wide receiver, because you tell those guys they shouldn't be listening to anything. Watch the football. And
Rutgers just had a line change on defense, and because of it, they're going to take another timeout. They were all mixed up. We're going to take one as well. Back to Piscataway in a moment. Pre-snap penalty of the first half. Going for the end zone. Overshooting Tavon Jacobs, but a flag comes in. We're going to get interference, I believe, on Isaiah Wharton.
yeah, I think he got grabbed.
I believe it was number 11, Wharton, a 3-year starter for Rutgers.
Pass interference. Defense number 11. The foul occurred in the end zone. By rule, the ball be placed at the 2-yard line. Automatic first down.
Yeah, you can see he's grabbing, and you know that's really unfortunate that he did that, and that's what Chris asked. He's got help coming over the top. You're not man-to-man coverage. Basically, we got coverage, so don't worry about getting deep. That safety's going to make that play.
But the penalty on Wharton, and that really hurts Rutgers, who had fully seized momentum, and now Maryland with a chance to punch it in here before intermission. Little changing of the play late. They do have 2 timeouts if they need to burn one. But they get the snap off and hand to Harrison. Fights. Is he in? Yes, touchdown, Maryland. Flag on the ground as well on the far side.
Offside, defense number 99. That penalty's declined. The result of the play is a touchdown.
There was offsides on Kevin Wilkins, the defensive end for Rutgers. Now, did Harrison get in? The call on the field, yes.
Well, from that angle, your guess is as good as mine, but
that last spin, he fell in.
Let's see it here. Good line blocking and
just put him in the spin cycle.
Yeah, if nothing's down, he got in. Yeah.
The play was never whistled dead until the end, so touchdown for Harrison. He had his first touchdown of the year last week, and the second one here.
Touchdown. That ruling is under further review.
Look at him. Look at those legs. He's a strong guy. He's got about 5 guys on top of him, and he still manages to twist and get it in the end zone. Look at that. Wow. I'm impressed.
Yeah, he's listed at 5'8". That might be in a pair of high heels. Low center of gravity, and you said it, strong kid, 195 lean pounds. We're going to take another look at it, though.
I don't care how tall he is. He's a strong sucker right there. I'm going to tell you. Wow.
He's the sophomore, Johnson the junior, that make up that impressive backfield, and they got the power guy, Jake Funk. You know, the stats for the 2 backs, Harrison and Johnson, if you look at the numbers compared to last year, they've gone down. But they told us, we don't care about the stats. Those guys are improved, and what hasn't helped them is the quarterback change.
The ruling on the field of touchdown stands.
And there's the confirmation, touchdown.
Let's watch it again. Look at him hit in there, and you know, he's not very tall, as you aptly have stated, but man, he's got a lot of fight in him. He never went down in desire, strength, toughness. He's got it all. You know, the other thing that has to hurt their stats, we talk about how poor they are on 3rd down defensively. That costs us possessions.
Yeah, that's a good point, because they haven't been able to get off the field. Maryland had 5 first downs on that last drive that ate up 3 minutes and 53 seconds. And they only had 4 first downs on their first 4 drives, so that was their most impressive.
Yeah, they rallied good. You asked what was going to happen, how they were going to counter. They went up-tempo. I mean, not ultra-fast, but you could sense that they picked it up a little bit. They got Rutgers back on their heels, and I would think that that's what we're going to see in the 3rd quarter from the Maryland offense.
High kick from Sutton. Blackshear. Dragged down by the sleeve. That was Jaquil Vay. How about this sleeve tackle?
Is that what you call it, huh?
Jaquil Vay, the wide receiver, also playing on special teams. A nice tackle. See, you're Rutgers, you're out of timeouts. You got 1:08. How do you approach this?
I knew you were going to ask me that.
Of course you did.
You know, you go 2-minute offense, I would think that you'll see Rutgers be rather conservative unless they can break one to midfield. Other than that, I think you're going to see the run game and go ahead and go in at halftime with a 3-point lead and just don't make a mistake right before the half.
You knew I was going to ask that. I knew you were going to take down that Delmonico steak last night that you did. 5-yard gain save on Walker with a tackle. That thing didn't have a puncher's chance.
Oh, God, you're bad. Why I put up with you, I have
you were back,
no idea.
You were back holding court, though, in your home state, the Garden State, you know.
I like to talk to people.
Chris Ash is going to just be conservative here.
You say conservative, I say smart. I mean, that.
What
are they built for? They're built to run the football and play action pass.
Keeper for Roshinio. Hey, don't look now. but now you're pushed out of bounds with still 23 seconds left and a pass and you're in field goal range.
Yeah, that's why you say conservative, I say smart.
22-yard run for Giovanni Roshinio. They wanted the flag at the end of it on the Savage push.
Yeah. And now, I said if you get around midfield, 23 seconds, now you got to take a shot. And if you can get in a position to try a field goal, you've done your job.
Conservative and smart, like you said, as Andrew Hart gets ready.
Just smart.
Roshinio. Pressure coming up the middle. He dumps it off on the screen to Edwards. Flag comes in on the backside at the end of that 3-yard gain.
They'll try to clock it unless the clock stays stopped.
Well, they'll stop it to discuss the flag. If this is a hold on Rutgers, it's big. Either way, it's big.
Holding. Defense number 7. 10 yards from the previous spot. Yardage results in a first down.
It's a hold on Maryland. In the corner, J.C. Jackson. That'll move the ball to the 44. They get on it quickly, and they down it. So the spike by Roshinio with 14 seconds left.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Give us another look at that, and I'll show you exactly why he got caught on that thing right there. And the defensive back just grabbed the receiver and held him and swung him around.
Yeah, J.C. Jackson had a fistful of jersey. Throw over the middle, and it's dropped. Oh, Jerome Washington, their sure-handed tight end, could not haul it in. And the sun coming in over the outstretched arms of High Point Solutions Stadium, and Washington had it and dropped it.
Oh, man. Big drop.
They love that kid, too. Talked about how great his hands are. They have been this year, but not that time. So you got 7 seconds. You got to throw it deep here, Coach.
You got it.
With no timeouts. Well, they try to go quick out to the sideline. Would have worked, but unable to haul it in.
Yeah, if he could have caught it there and got out of bounds, which he would have been with 2 seconds left. Now you throw for the end zone.
Second time they've targeted Muhammad Jabi.
4th and 10 at 44.
So calling all Hail Marys with 2 seconds left.
Now you're worried for one of those trick plays, lateral here, lateral there, all that kind of stuff. And
the ultra prevent with a few backed up on the goal line. Roshinio had to throw that off his back foot, though, and it is an easy interception. 5 rushes does Roshinio, just 2 completions, and there's Bortenschlager on the other sideline. His main target in that first half was not DJ Moore, but it was Tavon Jacobs. And those are the 2 guys. You look at the receptions this season, it's been them or bust in that Maryland passing game, no doubt about it.
yeah, you know, you look at it, they don't throw it around very much. You know, they got some good receivers, but, you know, you see some teams, they have 4, 5, 6 receivers, have a lot of receptions. Not that outfit.
DJ Moore caught a pass in quotation marks. I put it in quotation marks because he was coming across on a sweep, and it was just a pop pass a yard in front of Bortenschlager for 4 yards. That's his only reception. And Elise caught up with both coaches. What did you find out, Elise?
Hi, Brandon. I just finished talking to head coach DJ Jerkin. He told me that touchdown before the half, that was big. They needed that. But what they also need to do is take care of the football. He says what he wants to see in the second half is his team be more balanced, get it done on the ground and in the air. He said that was a quick 6 points by Rutgers to put them behind. So they need to just kind of get the lead now and, like I said, be more balanced. As for Rutgers, head coach Chris Ash told me that we're making a couple of mistakes. We need to clean it up, but he likes the way they're running the ball. Of course, we talked about that was a big emphasis for them coming into the game. He wants to see them convert on 3rd down.
Yeah, that's a key for both teams, but they will start this second half on defense as Maryland will receive it.
Ash likes what they're doing running the ball, huh? 154 yards at halftime. What wouldn't you like? I mean, that's impressive.
And you said it. You give a Jerry Kill offense 200, 250 yards on the ground and don't turn the ball over, you're going to win that football game.
Yeah, you know, this is not his first rodeo here at Rutgers. And the thing about it, when you're, you know, a run-oriented football coach, which Jerry has been his whole career, you have some patience. You know, you go in there, you're not worried about, you lose your patience, think you got to score fast. As long as that you're moving those chains until they overplay your run, you'll stay with the run.
Ty Johnson stands ready to return it. Start of the game, we were up around 59 degrees. Temps right now going to the lower 50s, hovering around 52, 53 degrees.
It's great football.
It is. It's fantastic football weather. You know, some in the Midwest have not been so lucky. From the goal line. Instead of Johnson, it's Leak. There's a flag down on the return. Saw quite a bit of yellow in the first half.
Holding. Return team number 80. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. First down.
Mentioned it, but last week against Indiana, 12 penalties for Maryland. They've had 4 pre-snap penalties, a couple others. They're struggling with that.
Yeah, penalty is going to happen in the game like we just saw in that return right there. They got Noah Barnes for a holding. That happens, but it's those penalties, those unforced errors, those false starts that'll absolutely drive you crazy.
They'll try to clean it up from the 4 pre-snap penalties they had in the first and second quarters combined for the Terps.
Field position becomes such a big factor. If you're Rutgers, if you can force them to punt the ball from down here, you're going to get good field position.
Bortenschlager to Jacobs, incomplete. Trying to go down to the ground to catch it. Once again, though, targeting Tavon Jacobs, who was the star in the first half.
Yeah, and that quick slant's so hard to defend, and it's, good coverage there, and it hits his hands, but he just can't hold on to it.
5 catches, 91 yards so far for Jacobs. As Bortenschlager is thrown for 120. Handoff around the edge, Johnson, and he will step out. Was there a hold? That's the question. You were acting like you were the official throwing a flag up here in the booth. So I think you saw what they saw.
Well, I just saw it come out fast, and I see Maryland clapping their hands, so it could be on.
Holding. Defense number 51. 10 yards from the end of the run. Yardage results in a first down.
So it was a hold. It was just on the Knights and Sebastian Joseph.
Yeah, you don't see that very often on a run play coming that fast. So there must have been some type of zone block, and they called the defensive lineman for doing it.
So you get the 6-yard run plus the penalty yardage to take it out to the 26. And that gives Maryland some much-needed breathing room. Off play action, Bortenschlager on the seam, and oh, what a collision.
This is okay.
Both going for the interception on the attempted pass that was intended for Tavon Jacobs. So now Bortenschlager, after the long pause, will try to regroup with the Maryland offense, 2nd and 10. Going down to 2 knees to catch it, Jaquil Vay.
Has to bleed today.
He was hoping to get to the marker. He ended up a yard short, a pickup of 9.
It is third down.
If he had been able to get another yard and then go down to the knees, that would have been ideal, but Maryland will have to convert on 3rd. Bortenschlager 9 of 15 with a touchdown to the interception.
As I mentioned earlier, these 3rd and 1s, huge plays.
And the Terps have brought in Jake Funk. Haven't seen him in the backfield in a while. It's been mostly Harrison and Johnson. But he's the power back, and he picks up the first down and more. A foot race. Funk is tracked down by Juwan Harris, but not before he takes it inside the 15.
Run down by Harris.
That's a pickup of 54.
Yeah, last time we saw him there, he moved forward. He got a false start on the offense, and they took him out. And again, good line blocking right there, and he hit the seam, and he's off to the races.
He needed one, he got 54. And they try again with Jake Funk. But once he got through on that last play, the Red Sea parted.
Yeah, you see it right there. He makes a good cut, and he not very tall to begin with, and he dipped down, and everybody lost sight of him, and big play.
He came into the game with 80 yards on the season, and he has 59 on 4 attempts in this game, does Jake Funk. Now he's replaced by Ty Johnson. 2nd and 8. QB draw. And inside the 5 and not shy of contact. Bortenschlager lowering the shoulder.
You know, we talked about that quarterback position, and you know, they lost Terrell Pigram, they lost Kasim Hill. They were dual threat quarterbacks that could run. Max Bortenschlager's not a dual threat quarterback, but everybody will tell you he's got the ability every once in a while, not called quarterback runs except for a draw, but he's not afraid to run the football.
And he wants to involve number 1 DJ Moore, who's in the slot. It's that one catch on the pop pass to start the game. Handoff up the middle. Fighting. Touchdown. Ty Johnson. Maryland back in the driver's seat. A 90-yard drive capped off by Ty Johnson, the junior, pounding it in with 12:07 left in the 3rd.
Yeah, you watch him right here. Locked him back, pulled the lineman. He has patience. He's got vision. He made the perfect cut right up there. Hard to stop. We talked about, wasn't too long ago, I said, hey, 90 yards to go. If Rutgers could hold them, well, they didn't.
They hurt themselves early with a penalty. Entire area, really, as you get close to the nation's capitals, produce darn good football players, especially in this conference. Blackshear. He's electric. He's a freshman, and he can move. Raheem Blackshear. You mentioned at the top of the broadcast, he can be dangerous. A return there of 44 yards.
Now we know why Jerry Kill is so excited that, you know, when we were asking him about Grant, he said, I don't know, but I'll tell you one thing, I've got Raheem Blackshear back, and this guy is really something special.
Said he could be the most talented back when his time at Rutgers is done since Ray Rice.
That's saying a lot.
That is saying an awful lot. Right now he's waiting patiently behind Gus Edwards and Robert Martin, who are getting a majority of the reps, and understandably so. It's Edwards in the backfield now. Play clock at 1. They're not going to get it off, and I don't think they called a timeout, did they?
Delay of game, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 1st down.
That will drive a coach crazy.
But, you know, really there's no excuse for that, you know, especially coming out of a, you know, after a kick or a timeout, or coming out there, and, you know, especially now that you can call timeout from the sideline as the coach. You used to always put it on the quarterback, but, man, there's a lot of people out there watching that play clock, and you can't afford that 5-yard penalty.
11 total penalties in the game between the two teams. Edwards patient and dragged down by Antoine Brooks. Just got him by the left foot. Let's take a look at our United States Marine Corps leader of the game, and that is Marcus Applefield, redshirt junior offensive guard from Florida. Participating in several community service initiatives, including trips to the hospitals, loves to read to the children. Also an avid fisherman. Major in criminal justice, a well-rounded kid and well-deserving of the United States Marine Corps leader of the game. Back to Roshinio with the right arm as he throws out, incomplete.
So now you look at this last series, you had a delay of game, you had a -yard play, you had an incomplete pass, all the things that Jerry Kill talked about that they can't overcome, those type of mistakes.
And they don't want to have to deal, as that was a catch with a Jerome Washington injury, a very talented tight end, and then he got hit by Josh Woods. So it goes for a gain of 7. A heck of a catch after the initial drop. Now they're just hoping Washington's okay as he went to the sideline. All kinds of time. Roshinio, though, nobody to throw to. So he puts his nose up in the Maryland defense and gets out to the 45. Back-to-back 7-yard gains. 4th and 3 here. You're kind of in that no man's land.
Yeah, but you're still playing the field position battle. I think it's the right decision here in the game. You punt it away and put your defense in a position to give them some room to stop Maryland.
Maybe if you only need a yard, you might go for it.
Yeah, you're talking about 3 yards. And you weren't really good in that series to begin with.
We haven't seen much from DJ Moore catching the ball. He'll get a chance to field this low punt, and he'll get away from it. And it's going to turn out perfectly for Rutgers and punter Ryan Anderson. Down right around the goal line.
Yeah, they're off and running, and you see they did a little crossing action so they couldn't get held up, and they do a great job there. Even the third guy keeping the one gun around to the end zone.
Lawrence Stevens making the play at the 2-yard line, a 44-yard punt. Wednesday, BTN's late night show, Sportslight with Mike Hall, showcases Big Ten athletes and coaches and delivers a hysterical look into their lives off the field. So don't miss Sportslight with Mike Hall, Wednesday at 11 Eastern on BTN. Tough starting field position. Maryland had a 90-yard drive. If they complete this one, it'll be 98 yards. That's a good start. Leaking through Lorenzo Harrison. Tackle by Juwan Harris.
Lorenzo Harrison, 5'8", 195 pounds. He got a little shake to him, and you see how he took the fight to that defender. I like that.
Pickup of 11. Inside of 9.5 remaining in the third quarter.
Yeah, get an unbalanced formation.
This time not as much luck. Trevor Morris was there, as was Julius Turner. Harrison will get a breather.
Yeah, you'll see it. That enough of that stuff running and control the line of scrimmage and hard to run the football.
Rutgers, this defense last week allowed 334 rushing yards to Michigan. They really struggled. Intended for DJ Moore, and he stopped on a dime and was there. Then he tripped, and the pass was wide of it.
Yeah, you talked about this defense a week ago against Michigan. Now, Michigan lined up a little bit different running attack. They were in the off-tackle power over and over and over again, and Rutgers just couldn't stop it.
DJ Moore had Hayes beat. The pass wide of Bortenschlager, now 3rd down and 8.
A week ago, these Terrapins only converted 3 out of 8 third down situations.
Maryland 4-4, Rutgers 3-5 on the season. Big game for both. Stepping up, Bortenschlager down to the ground. Wilton Prevalon. First time we've called his name. Redshirt sophomore from Orange, New Jersey with a tackle, and Maryland will punt. As Prevalon just defeated the block of Terrence Davis and got to Bortenschlager. And a pause here because Ty Johnson, or not, excuse me, Deontay Roberts rather, on the other side is down. Yeah, just at the end there, Kamoko Toure kind of backed up into Deontay Roberts, and then he went down awkwardly. He's second on the team in tackles. He's a captain.
Yeah, you watch it. Yeah, leg whip. That hurts. Get that leg going, the force, and the shoe, and Trey's a big guy. And
he's walking, but he's limping, is Deontay Roberts. So the native of Brooklyn will have a seat as Hunter Hayek waits to return the punt for the Scarlet Knights. And not a good one by Wade Lees. Oh, that's going to be recovered by Maryland.
Oh, man. Critical mistake.
That hit off of Isaiah Wharton. And then DJ Turner was right there to jump on it. Watch this.
Yeah, you can see it right there. And, you know, Wharton's trying to hold up the gunner, and he loses track of where the ball is. And he's not assuming the ball's going to be that short to the outside, and it hits him and heads up by Maryland. And could be the biggest play of the game for Maryland.
When Lees kicked it, I said, not a great punt by Lees. It turned out to be a great punt by Lees. The end justifies the means. And Maryland all of a sudden keeps the football, and they are at the Rutgers 41.
And they started on the 1. Let's not forget that.
So fresh life, play clock, snap comes at 1. Bortenschlager tries to buy some time, and he does get it complete to DJ Moore. Well, that's what DJ Moore can do. Escapes the tackle on his second reception of the game and picks up the first down.
Yeah, well, you know, when Walt Bell, the offensive coordinator, was talking about this guy, DJ Moore, the first thing he talked about was what a great kid, best kid he's ever had. And then he said, you know, I was at Oklahoma State, we have Blackman, very similar to him.
Eventually just said, I'm running out of adjectives to describe the guy in a positive manner. For the end zone goes Bortenschlager for Jacobs, and he dropped it. Tavon Jacobs has had some great catches in this game, and that should have been another catch and a touchdown.
Yeah, as my good friend Mike Hall says all the time, let's play a game of wide open. He was wide open, but he lost. Too wide open, maybe.
Yeah,
Oh, you got to catch it in your hands. He tried to pin it against his body, and you can't do that. You're a receiver. You got great hands. That's a lot easier than those slant routes you've been catching. Boom.
I just know that he cannot believe that one. Had touchdown receptions his last 3 games against Northwestern, Wisconsin, and Indiana, and should have had that one. Harrison bouncing it outside. Stepping out right around the first down marker. Let's see where they spot him. They'll spot him 2-yard shy. So an 8-yard gain, and now 3rd and 2.
You know, we talked about it in the open, but both these teams, they may lack some depth compared to some other schools in the Big Ten, but they've got some guys that have a lot of talent, very exciting football players.
Both coaches said speed, speed, speed at the skill positions on the other side. Out of the pistol. Strong straight ahead. Harrison looked like he stopped about a half-yard short.
Now the question you ask me all the time, I'm going to go for it here. I'm short, that close, I'm going for it.
And right now the offense is on the field. DJ Durkin says, why not? Jake Funk is in the backfield. He moves over to the right side of Bortenschlager. Movement. Both sides pointing at the other. Oh, this is going to be an interesting call. One sideline and one coach is going to be very upset. The other elated.
I thought the tight end moved first.
Offside, defense, with contact, number 99. 5-yard penalty. Yardage results in a first down.
That's Kevin Wilkins, the redshirt junior.
That tight end moved.
Yeah, I'm with you, Coach. Derek Hayward flinched.
That tight end move, that's a bad call. I don't blame Chris Ash.
And Hayward had a penalty earlier in this game pre-snap. He lucked out there. The crowd rains down boos as Harrison is going nowhere. An angry Rutgers defense rallies to the football. It's a good thing Chris Ash is not mic'd up.
Yeah. Oh, man, that is not even close. Come on.
Can the Scarlet Knights D-bow up like the student section is? Maryland perfect in the red zone. There's still some boos coming down here at High Point Solution Stadium.
Do you blame them?
No. They'll give it to Johnson. Deontay Roberts with a tackle, number 6, tackling number 6 after a gain of a few.
And it's getting louder. I tell you, if they can hold them to a field goal, the Rutgers defense, they did a whale of a job. Everything they had to overcome in this series.
Jacobs in motion back to the slot right. Hortonschlager heaves it away, but wait, a flag comes in.
Hold it. Should call it tackling.
There's no foul for intentional grounding. There was an eligible receiver in the vicinity.
Wow.
But wait, there is a hold, and it is on the offense. That's the part he didn't say.
Oh, okay.
I think John O'Neill's going to come back and explain that. If not, Chris Ash may run onto the field. And John O'Neill's checking to see what Coach Ash wants to do.
Offense number 55. That penalty is declined. 4th down.
I was going to say, if they didn't call that out, I was going to start booing. You see 55 right there. The quarterback's moving around, but man, look at how he got him gripped up. It's big time. And
Derwin Gray and Kevin Wilkins look like the wrestling match we saw before the football game here today.
How many points you get for a takedown? 2?
Right there looked like he should have gotten 10. 30-yard field goal for Darmstadter. Good.
See, I love it. See, most people think coaches, it's a job. No, it's a passion. You know, they get paid a lot of money. He do it for free. I mean, you put everything you have into it, and he doesn't like it. You get beat, you get beat. He thinks someone missed something they shouldn't miss there.
He went back for seconds and thirds and fourths. Raheem Blackshear had a great return of 44 yards last time in the Big Ten.
It's always interesting.
It'll be fun down the stretch, that's for sure. Pretty big hole up the middle. Robert Martin running with big pace right from the get-go, 1st down.
Well, there's nothing absolute, but Rutgers very impressive on the inside zone today.
Rutgers with 162 rushing yards. Before this drive started, though, in this 3rd quarter, yardage was 119-12. Now it's 119-24. Deep ball from Roshinio. Incomplete. And in a near collision. That's our back judge, Michael Elliott, falling.
You got to pick your feet up, man.
It was intended for Bull Melton, who they rarely target. He only has 1 catch all year.
Uh-oh.
Backpedaling, and down goes Frazier.
He's laughing about it.
Yeah, he can laugh now since that was incomplete and no one plowed into it.
That'll make the highlight reel. I wonder what Dick Honig would say about that one.
Second and 10, but Bo Melton, he is a deep ball threat. They just only hit one pass to him all season for 48 yards, not that time. Robert Martin gets his number called, but nothing. Back to the line of scrimmage and pushed down. Once again, we say Mb Tanyi, number 50, in on the tackle. Watch Big Ten football wherever you are with BTN To Go and Fox Sports Go. Never miss a thing all season long. Available in the App Store and Google Play.
All right, what are we going to do on third down here? You're always asking me, what do you want to come with?
I'm asking you, Coach. I'll tell you this, I'm throwing the football. Rutgers only has 3 completions all day, but Roshinio needs to complete his 4th. Pocket clean. He does complete his 4th. And he found Jerome Washington. See, I'm going to go down there and call plays on the sideline.
Right to see you to go down there. Yeah, you've got to delay a game in that last one. Hey, watch the protection here, right here. He stands tall. Look at all the time that he has. Wide open receiver.
And we saw Washington drop one earlier, then nearly drop one and make a spectacular catch, which he left the game on. So Rutgers is happy to have big number 88 back. 15-yard pickup. Gus Edwards, he was the story of the first couple of drives for Rutgers. Tripped up by Josh Woods.
You talked about it before, but you know, they got a lot of patience in this running game. You saw Gus Edwards hit in there. He stayed square and stutter step for second, then broke it outside and picked up significant yardage.
67 yards on the ground for Gus Edwards. Approaching his season best game of 94 yards against Purdue earlier in the year.
Jerry Kill's up in the press box calling the plays. He used to be on the sideline. He got run over on the sideline earlier in the year, so they put him up top. It's a little safer.
And a good vantage point for him as well. Strong run, first down. Power, power, power. And the men up front did their job.
Oh, man, watch that offensive line. Look at that movement. Man, they're just knocking people off the ball.
That front 7 of Maryland, all the criticism they've received, continue to struggle. There's Jerry Kill up in the booth.
He got the hat on.
Play action for Roshinio. Rolling out of the naked bootleg, and he completes it to Miles Nash. First time they've called Nash's number in this game, and only his 2nd catch of the season.
But you know, historically, Jerry likes to run the football and has always used his tight ends effectively. Remember at Minnesota, he had Max Williams, now in the National Football League, and he would drive everybody crazy, get that run game going, and come in with the play action pass, just like you saw right there to Miles Nash.
Nash is a two-way player. That's rare in college. He's also on the defensive line from time to time. Man, when they run up the middle, they are hitting that hole with authority.
And I was just watching right there, and I watched Roshinio come out the backside. If he would have kept the ball, there was no one near him. And I know what he's thinking. He's thinking, I hope old Jerry up in the press box, his spotter, saw that, because I think we're about ready to do the same thing and let me dance into the end zone.
Was that your imitation of the Kansas voice of Jerry Kill right there?
No, I could do it, though. I can tell you that.
Into the quarter approaching Robert Martin. One of the 99 rushing yards in that 3rd quarter, but right now it's Rutgers facing a critical 3rd and 3. Inside give, touchdown, Robert Martin barely touched. On the 11th play of the drive, it's Robert Martin from 10 yards out, right up the gut. Hart to tie it. 24 all. Third rushing score of the season for Martin, 18th of his career.
Well, there's a lot of guys happy on this run and tonight, but A.J. Blazing, the offensive line coach, I mean, come on. We worked on it all week. Fellas, we didn't block it that good in practice. You guys are, who's better than you guys, huh? They're tremendous.
Bryce Brand tried to scrape across and make the tackle for Maryland, but just got a little bit of the right leg of Martin. 77 yards on those 11 plays. Brand new ball game in Piscataway, 24-24. Fire up the band. So look, it's not a sellout crowd, but this has been a lively, good crowd here.
You know, it's been noisy, I can tell you that. I mean, they're into it, and what I like when you go someplace and the people that are there, they're not spectators, they're participants. And this Rutgers crowd tonight, man, they are into it.
Five yards deep, down to a knee goes Johnson. Iowa seems to be playing extremely well. Harrison, he was looking for space, but the only space is in the backfield. A loss of 3. From behind the chains, DJ Moore comes back and grabs it. That'll quiet the crowd momentarily and bring up a third and manageable tackle by Damon Hayes. 10-yard gain.
Yeah, we talk about it all the time. You get that press coverage. If you can throw that back shoulder throw versus that coverage, you can't just stop it. And really, it's a good throw, it's a good catch, and it was a good play by the Rutgers defensive back to make the tackle at 3/4.
DJ Moore has caught a pass in 30 straight games. That ties Torrey Smith, now plays for the Philadelphia Eagles, for the longest receptions record in Maryland history. And the quarterback taking off and hit a yard shy as Bortenschlager got popped by Trevor Morris.
Yeah, did he ever get popped? And, you know, you talk about the quarterback, Bortenschlager there, he's 211 pounds, and they knocked him back. If they didn't, it'd been a first down.
He lowered his head right into the chest of Trevor Morris.
And even as much as DJ Durkin wants to go for it, I mean, you can't this point in the game, and it's, you know, you got to lead in the game. You got to punt it away.
That's exactly what they'll do as Max Bortenschlager returns to the sideline. Flag, false start.
All tied up, 24-24.
Offense number 84. 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
Now you feel a little better about punting. When that's close and you're in a tight game and it's late in the game, it's the 4th quarter, man, you want to go for it so bad and you just can't do it.
7th penalty for Maryland. 5 of them have been pre-snap. So between last week's win against Indiana and this week, that's 19 penalties. Bortenschlager still fighting off that last play over on the sideline. Rugby-style punt from the Australian Wade Lees. 8:39 left here in Piscataway. Rutgers taking over on offense. Gus Edwards, and that is his 15th carry of the game.
I think we've seen that play before, and I mentioned before the job that the line's doing and the offensive line coach, A.J. Blazing. And I'm sure if Big Ten people have said, I've heard that name before. That's the same one that played at Iowa. Team captain, was a great offensive lineman, and now he's using his skills and everything he learned from Kirk Ferentz developing this line here.
And from left to right tackle, they've been good in this one. will make it 3rd down and a yard. Savon Walker finally stopping the forward momentum.
I won't tell you, I'm waiting for that quarterback to come out the back door. It's been there.
How can Maryland's defense get off the field on 3rd down? We've documented it, but that's been the struggle this season. Maryland still hopes of a bowl game. With 3 to play after this. Edwards got hit at the line, then bounced around off the left side, picked up the first easily, stopped by Jermaine Carter.
Yeah, he was initially stopped, but the legs never stopped going, and he made the play.
It's a tough schedule for both teams remaining, and certainly for Maryland, it is very tough. Michigan at Michigan State. I mean, this does not get any easier. That's why this game is so important if they want a chance to go bowling. And that game next week, Michigan, Maryland in College Park. We'll be there for that right here on BTN.
We might even take the train down to Maryland.
Right.
How's that?
Just like Maryland took the train up here for this game. I like that they did that. That's neat.
Oh, great. Old days, it's all the teams used to do. They take a train, long trip. They had to stop along the way and practice.
Chartered train. 24-24. And a good game in the Big Ten. First down run for Gus Edwards.
Well, that Rutgers offense is definitely winning the battle up front. Cole, Miller, Miani, Applefield, Seymour. Man, they've had a long night. They're doing a good job.
On that last carry, Edwards over 90 yards, 91 to be exact. It's time to fake. Pass deflected. Andrew Isaacs came up and batted it down.
Yeah, they had man coverage, and pretty good man coverage by Maryland. Nobody really open, and as we talk about so often, the best pass defense is a rush, and you can't get there, get your hands up. These guys are tall and couldn't get the ball by them.
Good job by Isaacs. He's not one of the main guys on the line, but a senior defensive end making a nice play. 2nd and 10. Returning to the ground for a punishing pickup. 7 yards for Gus Edwards.
But you know one thing about it, look at that. When he hits in there, what I like about him, he's squared to that line of scrimmage, and he is full speed.
Just ran right over Jermaine Carter. That's not an easy guy to run over.
I'm sure Mark Rick down at Miami wish he was still down there and playing for the Hurricanes. That guy's a good football player.
Edwards, first down. They just don't seem to be able to stop it.
No.
And now Gus Edwards is over 100 yards at 104.
You've heard me say before, Brandon, nothing more demoralizing to a team, not just even the guys on the field, but the team, if your opponent can just run the football at you 4, 5, 6 yards a clip, and you feel helpless, you can't stop it.
Andy Boo, defensive coordinator for Maryland, searching for answers. In his 2nd year, like his head coach, DJ Durkin. Another chunk. 5 yards that time. So many of these Rutgers kids are from the area, tri-state area. Edwards, Staten Island native.
Right across the bridge. Yeah.
You know, something interesting that Chris Ash told us yesterday, that Gus Edwards, as you see the current drive, 9 plays, 43 yards. said, you know, things aren't too different in Miami. There was maybe this perception that it's so glamorous down there, they get extra stuff. He said, no, Rutgers is a great place to be, and he's really loving his time here. Hayek got caught and then got hit hard by Davis.
Well, you know, we asked Chris Ash year 2, you know, what has it been like the head coach? He says, well, you know, difficult initially to get so many people to do what you wanted. As a defensive coordinator, you only had the defensive staff. Now you got the offensive staff, the defensive staff, academic staff, training staff, all that stuff. The other thing is the perception of Rutgers. And what he meant by that, once people get here, come see it, recruiting everything, they say, this place is really nice.
Yeah, he said he just needs to get them on campus and change their perception. Last play was for a loss of a yard. This time it's Edwards catching it and scoring.
What an impressive drive.
So he's over 100 yards on the ground, and his first catch of the game goes for 23 yards and 6 points.
Little swing pass out of the backfield. He catches it, one move. Man, you're hanging for dear life when you got one guy to try to tackle that guy out there.
Interestingly, none of his rushes had gone for over 11 yards. But then the first reception goes for 23. It's also his first career touchdown grab.
A lot of big gains with that pass, but a little number times a big number is a big number. And he's touching the ball a lot tonight.
You got that, math majors? I like that. Javon Lee. Out to the 22. Back to Chicago we go, and Mike Hall. Wow, so not only is Iowa winning, they're winning convincingly.
Yeah.
And by the way, we heard about Nate Stanley's day here. Maryland has had to go away from Max Bortenschlager. Caleb Henderson is now in there at quarterback as he hands it off to Lorenzo Harrison.
Yeah, Caleb Henderson, he's the transfer from North Carolina. He was in the mix. You know, they had like 4 quarterbacks here during the summer practice. Who was going to win it? He ended up number 4, but they were high on him, and obviously he has a different skill set, and he's got some experience.
Maryland can't catch a break at quarterback. Max Bortenschlager is currently in that medical tent. Earlier in the year, and all the Maryland fans have heard this ad nauseum, but Ty Pigram goes out, Kasim Hill. Now Bortenschlager, at least temporarily out. And the first throw for Henderson here tonight is complete. There's a flag down on the outside.
Good throw.
And it's, by the way, it's Ryan Brand. It's not Caleb Henderson, the North Carolina transfer.
Illegal formation. Offense, 5 players lined up in the backfield. 5 yards from the previous spot. Repeat, second down.
So the flag comes in. 6 pre-snap penalties now on Maryland in this game.
Got an unbalanced formation again.
But it is, again, to clarify, it's Ryan Brand. That's not Caleb Henderson. It's number 16, not number 8. They didn't even have him on the 2 deep. The redshirt sophomore Brand, but he's out there. Faking the give, save throw. DJ Moore, that's a good guy to go to. That was Jake Funk throwing that block. He called him the jack of all trades, that's why. Pass protecting, blocking, running.
That's back from his wing team fullback days right there. I know how to do that, he said.
As you said earlier, from Gaithersburg, Maryland. After the 12-yard pickup, they stay on the ground. With their 4th-string quarterback from the beginning of the season out there, Ryan Brand. Actually, he's really the 5th string because they had Caleb Henderson listed in front of him.
Yeah, they never talked about this guy all through the whole deal, and here we go.
He's 2 of 2, although both passes were completed right around the line of scrimmage. You just wonder how much of the playbook has been weeded through and plays thrown out after all the guys that have been lost at that position. Snap comes with 2 on the play clock, and a handoff out to the 46 goes Ty Johnson.
Not only did that snap come right at the play clock, it came hot and high. He did a good job. Brand did a good job of handling. Watch it right there. Good job. You know, it tells me right then he did like he was coached. He kept his eye on the center all too often. Bad snap like that, especially for an inexperienced quarterback, he's trying to check out some reads someplace. Good job.
Maryland 4 of 11. Got to think 4 down territory here, right?
No.
4:20
in the game.
Whistles.
Delay of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Well, that's not going to help whether it's 4 down territory or not.
Easy for me to be critical. I just don't understand it, especially when you have a young, inexperienced quarterback out there. You got a bunch of guys. Come on, that's what he's thinking. Come on, fellas.
Yeah, DJ Durkin can't believe it.
Yeah, he's probably blaming himself, but you can't get a delay of game.
Rutgers is going to take the timeout, and they took that with 2 seconds on the play clock. So all eyes on Ryan Brand, the sophomore QB, swinging it out to Jacobs. Jacobs can't escape. Ross Douglas, good tackle. Stay tuned. Rick Pizzo, Howard Griffith, and Chuck Long. They'll be along for the State Farm post game. They'll get you caught up on everything happening in the Big Ten.
Now we're under 3 minutes. You get this under 2 minutes, then the clock starts becoming Rutgers' friend. A lot of time left right now.
All 3 timeouts for Maryland. Lorenzo Harrison. The black shirts rallying.
And now you're going to go for it. Now, I don't want to jinx Rutgers, but you know what's the last time that Rutgers beat Maryland at home here?
Well, you told me it was like back in World War II.
1941.
The start of that, okay. It's been a while. They need 3 yards to the Terps. Funk in the backfield with Brand.
Here comes the blitz.
They bring 5 more. Stretching out. He got it. First down.
Now, let me tell you what's really impressive here. Rutgers came with the corner blitz and Brand for a young guy that's inexperienced. He saw it coming. He stopped and threw it out there. I mean, that was not a play that was predetermined by Maryland. That's what's coached. You see the corner coming, you throw it out to the split end, and that's what he did. Heads up play.
6 receptions for Moore. 5 of them in the second half. Play action. Hit as he throws for the end zone. And incomplete. Almost the second interception of the game for number 2, Kai Hester.
Yeah, Brand was hit just as he threw. He overthrew the ball, and Hester could have pulled it down and
slaps his hands together in frustration, but the heat was coming.
When I was coaching, those guys, when they slapped hands, I used to call it the loser's clap. You ever see when a guy drops a ball, offensively, defense, they clap their hands? Why, I don't know. They don't do it when they catch it, only when they drop it.
2nd and 10. Brand to the outside. Jacobs caught it, but then he's wrapped up quickly by Juwan Harris.
Yeah, you know, we saw earlier in the game, and I mentioned Juwan Harris missed a tackle. He underestimated. That was a great tackle out there in the open field.
He had 9 tackles last week against Michigan. Big 6, and we are only separated by a score. 7 points. 3rd and 6 for Maryland. Can Ryan Brand deliver? To Moore. Yes, Brand can deliver. And he does to the 15-yard line. Maryland's in the red zone.
Talk about a ball game. And you know, watch it right here. They came with a zone blitz. They knew where they had to throw the ball. Still pretty tight coverage, and they got enough for the first down.
It's the 8th quarterback. Morris caught a pass from in a Maryland uniform, and now over the middle, a touchdown! Tavon Jacobs. Ryan Brand delivers, but wait, there's a flag down. A flag at the line, and it appears to be a hold on Maryland. This may be washed out. Here's John O'Neill.
Holding. Offense number 55. 10 yards from the previous spot. Repeat first down.
Derwin Gray, that's the second time they've got him.
The left tackle with a huge penalty.
Let's watch him right here, the big fella right there on the end. You know, then they get to see, here comes the blitz, and oh yeah, you got to move your feet. He didn't move his feet, and he grabbed him. He knew if he didn't grab him, that was going to be a lookout block on the quarterback.
It was Elam Lamore that was bringing the pressure off the edge. He's had a good game for Rutgers.
I told you why they call it football. You got to move your feet. You block people with your feet. You just can't grab them.
Well, Gray got beat there. The holding call, so cross out the touchdown. Well, he'll sling it again. Incomplete. Big pop by Kai Hester. Once again, the target was Tavon Jacobs.
Now, I'm just going to tell you something. You know, this place right here in Piscataway, New Jersey, High Point Stadium, Solution Stadium, when they get this going here at Rutgers and they get this place packed, this is going to be a snake pit. This place is loud.
That was a textbook shoulder-leading hop that time by Kai Hester. Certainly no targeting. And it jarred the ball loose. 1:03 remaining. Ryan Brand, 7 of 9, throwing it so far. Who's got it? Incomplete. It falls down. Harris went for the interception, and DJ Turner was the intended target.
Yeah, when you watch this is good safety play. Look at him cover that area. It was over the corner's head, but the safety, like play in center field, you can cover a lot of ground and get over there and maybe intercept it, but at the least defend it.
And you said it, Harris also a baseball player. Rutgers, they say his baseball background helps him track those balls.
Plus he hit 8 home runs.
Yeah, he's a power hitter too.
God, this is an exciting game. College football at its finest.
Now this drive, they've escaped 3rd and 10, 4th and 3, 3rd and 6. Now a dump off the weight. Whistles before.
Prior to the snap. Charge timeout Rutgers.
So Rutgers calls the timeout.
Rutgers will play coverage here.
DJ Moore, favorite target, bottom of your screen. He's looking that way. Did he stay in bounds? Yes. So, still have a lot of room to go on 4th down.
Yeah, as expected with this lead right here. You saw him double pump right there, but Rutgers was giving him the short pass. Go ahead and put it into a 4th and 10. Just go beat over the top. 51 seconds. If you're Rutgers, here's the football game right here.
5 receptions on this drive for DJ Moore. He's at the bottom of your screen again. They need 10 yards. They're going for more. Incomplete. No flags. Rutgers is going to win it.
Well, Maryland can stop the clock twice, but the best formation in football, victory formations you're going to see out here. Here they go. They're throwing to the end zone. Good coverage, a little hand fighting there. He looks back for the ball.
What do you think?
Oh, man, no, that's fine. It's good no call. You see it right there. Oh, he grabbed his shirt a little bit. But at the same time, you see a little push off.
So you're okay with a left-hand grab there at the end?
Well, it depends what sideline I'm on.
Chris Ash was okay with it. And dejection if you are a Terrapin coach or player on the other side.
Yeah, the thing about that, if that gets called, the ball goes down to the 1 yard line, and there's a little hand fighting on both sides there.
As you said, they can stop the clock twice, and they'll do it right here. 1 timeout remaining now for Maryland. Rutgers looking for their third Big Ten win of the season. Just one timeout left for Maryland.
And there's the victory formation.
Roshinio down to a knee. Maryland will take the timeout. But again, one more play and there's nothing that Maryland can do now.
And we talked about this in the open. Now here's Chris Ash and the Rutgers program. They've won 3 of their last 4 Big Ten football games. That's impressive.
That is very impressive, especially considering where they started from last year. Rutgers had 17 unanswered points in the second quarter in a really quick span of 7 minutes and 22 seconds, and then 14 unanswered this quarter.
I'll tell you, the story of this football game is the run offense of Rutgers, and that's exactly what, you know, both Chris Ash and Jerry Kill said. We have to be able to run the football.
And Rutgers ran it for 243 yards, and they pick up their third Big Ten win of the season, improving to 4-5 overall, and Maryland drops to 4-5. The Terps were trying to get consecutive conference wins for the first time since joining the Big Ten, but they could not do it. Really good, fun football game.
Well played, hard-hitting football game against 2 teams you kept talking about that are new to the Big Ten and striving to make importance. Are they both going in the same direction? In the right direction, in my estimation, absolutely.
Giovanni Roshinio is 3-1 as a starter.